Hello there, you're now with me, Handy Gui, and welcome to your 5 p.m. English news on TVS. Now let's dive into the headlines for today. Motorcycle remains the highest accident-prone machines in the state in terms of percentage share of road accidents and fatalities at 48.7% over the past decade. In 2020 alone, 168 fatalities or 53% of the 315 fatalities recorded in the year involve motorcyclists.
And this is found that motorcyclist accident remain the highest accident prone in the state at 5,914 cases or 48.7% of motorcyclists. Dan 53% ataupun 168 kes ada daripada motosikal, ya. Dan 22.5% daripada kereta, 9.5% daripada kes-kes yang lain. Dan itu pejalan kaki 15%, 46 cases. Dan lain adalah daripada lain lah, buses, lorry dan sebagainya lah.
Lee added vehicle ownerships jumped from 1,277,245 in 2010 to 1,925,463 in 2020. He noted that motorcycles had overtaken cars as the main mode of transport, with 875,169 motorcycles registered in 2020 compared to 853,405 units of cars. Elaborating, the Transport Minister said that most road accidents are caused by human errors, and thus he said the ministry will be introducing a road safety program to raise awareness among road users.
So we would like to introduce a program called Awareness Behavioral Change, ataupun dikatakan ABC program. Ini ialah untuk mendidik para pengguna jalan kita, termasuk pemandu kereta, penunggang motosikal dan sebagainya.
Earlier, Lee attended the state-level road safety campaign in Kuching in conjunction with the Chinese New Year celebration.
In a similar development, Dr. Sri Lee Kim Shin said his ministry plans to upgrade all traffic lights in the state to smart traffic lights. According to Lee, this will better manage the traffic flow.
The Senate Assemblyman said the smart traffic light system will utilize artificial intelligence or AI technology to recognize the number of cars at the intersections.
Ini dah rancangan kita. So we upgrade all our traffic lights to become smart traffic light yang menggunakan artificial intelligence, di mana ini traffic light dia boleh kawal, we can control the number of vehicles. Misalnya di simpang dari sebelah sini tak ada kereta, sini banyak kereta, jadi kita bagi masa laluan ini panjang lagi. Itu kita tak, itu yang tak ada kereta itu kita itu merah lah, ya, hijau bagi yang banyak kereta. Jadi itu dia automatic, ada sensor boleh control.
Commenting on the status of the runabout to traffic light conversion projects along the Semarang-Kuching Expressway, Lee simply said that the project is still in the construction process.
Sedang dijalankan, sedang dalam proses itu, pembinaan, ya, itu sedang dijalankan. Saya belum dapat laporannya. Nanti saya akan dapat laporan. Tetapi rancangan kita ialah untuk mempertingkatkan semua ini lampu isyarat, traffic light signal kita semua ke smart traffic light. Ini dah rancangan kita. So we upgrade all our traffic light.
Now a total of 680 million ringgit has been allocated for the price standardization, price stabilization and general use flour subsidy programs under the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs KPD and HEP this year. Of the figure, 240 million ringgit are for the implementation of the price standardization program, which involved the distribution of essential goods, liquefied petroleum gas and community drumming, RON 95 and diesel program.
KPDN-HEP Minister Dato Sri Alexander Nantalinggi said through the initiative, the government would bear the cost of transportation to deliver 7 control items from suppliers in the city to selected rural areas. Goods could also be sold at a set controlled prices as the delivery cost would be borne by the government. He said currently there are 2,005 points of sales nationwide.
Following the discovery of a mystery food near a cemetery in Jalan Bukit Lima, Cebu on Sunday, Cebu police said a search operation to find a second missing food has now commenced. Cebu Acting District Police Chief Superintendent Dr. Colin Babat said the police have identified the owner of the food as a 70-year-old local man believed to have both his feet amputated due to diabetes. On Sunday, a recycling shop staff discovered the remains of the man's left foot, which was dug out by stray dogs. It was found that there was no criminal element involved in the case.
Every day has a story to tell. But how well you tell a story is a different story. Let's join Yasu and B to explore the craft of story. You will learn how to structure and craft your idea to create a story to communicate with your audience. You will see a lot of beauty in the craft. Dalam episod seterusnya, My Husband-in-Law.
Sำหรับคุณยาดาแล้วเนี่ยผมเต็มที่เสมอครับนี่ครับวิธีที่ผมแนะนำในการฟ้องหย่ากับสามีของคุณ
ดึกก็ได้เลยนะคะฉันก็ทำดึกเหมือนกันนะ
Jangan lupa untuk menyaksikan My Husband-in-Law setiap Isnin hingga Khamis 8.45 malam di TVS saluran 122 Astro dan My TV
พี่เทนเป็นบ้าอะไรเนี่ยหรือว่าจะมาพิศวาสอะไรเราตอนนี้เนี่ยฮะ
So from there, she took a lot of photos from the jungle trekking itself. So when she went back home, she drew the painting, all the views and photos that she has been taken. What people perceive or look at me, the first impression to is like, oh kacatnya cing, tapi sayanglah tangannya macam ni.
Sebelumnya mana orang tua lama mari ni tahu apa penyakit dia, dulu polio. Si kita dengar kena tu baru ada kita tahu dia penyakit polio.
Welcome back. Another woman in Cebu fell victim to Macau scam when she suffered a loss of 118,000 ringgit. Cebu Acting Police Chief Superintendent Dr. Colin Babat said the 58-year-old victim first received a phone call from a suspect on October 28, 2020, purporting to be an insurance agent.
Based on the facts of the case, the victim had also made another transfer amounting to 27,000 ringgit, which was loaned from another bank on December 9th. After realizing that she was duped, the victim had already suffered a loss of 118,000 ringgit, and on top of that, she had to bear an additional burden to pay back the money that was loaned. The case is being investigated under Section 420 of the Penal Code for fraud.
Now, the Ministry of Health, MOH, Ministry of Foreign Affairs, MOFA, and other relevant agencies will deliver a briefing to decide the actual date for the country's transition to the endemic phase, which will be held next week during the COVID-19 Quartet ministerial meeting.
Defense Minister Dato Sri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein said the briefing involved reports on the effects of the December 2021 floods, the Omicron variant of the COVID-19, and the return of Malaysians to the country, which was previously postponed. Hishamuddin added that the postponement in announcing the transition was only temporary, adding that what was important is that it was done in an orderly manner. He said the decision on the transition will not be done in haste, and the postponement may take 2 to 3 weeks' time from the original date, which is in the first week of January. Prior to this, Hishamuddin reportedly said that the government had decided to temporarily postpone the declaration of the transition following the increase in the Omicron variant cases in the country.
Now on to some global affairs. A Japanese university had successfully transplanted stem cells into a patient with spinal cord damage, a first clinical trial of its kind, and a possible cure for spinal injury-related paralysis, as there are still no effective treatments available.
Surgeons at Tokyo's Keio University wants to study whether induced pluripotent stem or iPS cells can be used to treat the injuries. iPS cells are created by stimulating mature, already specialized cells back into a juvenile state. They can then be prompted to mature into different kinds of cells, with the Keio University study using iPS-derived cells of the neural stem. The first step in the trial involved implanting more than 2 million iPS-derived cells into a patient's spinal cord in an operation last month. Masaya Nakamura, a Keio University professor who heads the research, said that this is definitely a huge step forward. However, there remains lots of work to be done before the treatment can be put to use.
Now wrapping up the 5 p.m. news, Cairo felines finally have a warm place to sleep in the cold winter months. The upcycled mobile shelters, which were made out of old tires, aim to protect the animals, especially when the weather changes.
Eco-friendly artist Ibrahim Abogandi is creating these prototypes to be distributed in various locations in the busy streets of Cairo, as the country has been witnessing changing weather conditions in recent years.
ان هم في ظروف قاسيه جدا زي ما احنا شايفين التلج بدا ينزل في مصر والتغيرات المناخيه اللي بتحصل مع المطر او مع التلج اللي بدا ينزل في الغردقه واسكندريه ده ريسبونس احنا بنحاول نسبق الاحداث عشان كلاب الشارع وحيوانات وقطط الشارع وحيوانات الشارع عامه هيبقوا مهددين جدا بتغييرات الطقس لان محتاجين يبقى في عزل حراره حتى لو 10 ل 15 درجه هيفرق معاهم جدا يعني.
The mobile shelters are designed to fit in an urban setting made of upcycled car tires that are thermally insulated as well as other recycled material like wood.
بالتصميم ده هنقدر نقول ان احنا وفرنا مسكن امن معزول حراريا ل5 قطط في حجم مش كبير ان انت تحطه قدام بيتك او في او كده، وده البروتوتايب الاقل يعني تعقيدا. لسه ممكن نضيف اوبشنز ثانيه مع تطوير ان ازاي تقدر انت تحط لهم اكل ويتوزع على الخلايا او الرومز دي بتساوي عشان ما يتخانقوش مع بعض، وده كله هيبقى بيزد اون الفيدباك اللي احنا هناخده من القطط نفسها ومن الناس اللي في الشارع ومن الناس اللي هيساعدونا بان هم يكيب اليونتس دي عندهم في البابليك سبيس الخاص بيهم، يعني مساحه شخصيه بس في نفس الوقت في الشارع.
Users can order the units or donate to manufacture them to be put in streets. Donations from outside Egypt are also accepted through the project's website. Rare snowstorms have been hitting the coastal cities of Hurghada and Alexandria this winter, with Egyptians reporting lower temperatures in Cairo and other cities in recent years.
And that wraps up the 5 p.m. English news on TVS. As usual, don't forget to tune in for the Nightline at 11:30 p.m. With that, I'm Hendy Gui. Stay safe and have a pleasant day.